Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. Okay, stress never seems to be in short supply these days, but our next guest believes that when stress shows up in our life, it also brings opportunities for genuine self-love and peace. Here to explain, we welcome back transformation specialist, life coach, and author of Freedom is Your Birthright, Dr. Dravon James. Hello, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you too, Hannah.
Let's talk about leaning into the idea of stress, and tell me about how resisting stress can actually cause more tension in our lives.
Yes, that is absolutely true. And I know we've all heard the expression that our life goes in the direction of our focus. So when we're resisting something, we're actually focusing on it more. And what does that bring into our lives? More stuff to stress over. So that act of resisting it means that you're just going to find yourself thinking about it more. So go ahead and accept it. And then we'll talk about some techniques when you're accepting it, how to utilize that stress as a tool instead of a hindrance.
Yeah, so can you tell me more about ways to just change our perception to begin with, kind of make that switch in our minds so that we're not immediately going to resistance as our first knee-jerk reaction?
Yes, so you want to think like a toddler, right? You want to become curious. If you've ever watched a toddler, right, they become curious about everything. And we want to sort of switch on that toddler like part of our brain that says, without judgment, oh, that's interesting. Wow. Right. And even if the wow is something that we really don't want, we're like, wow, it hurts. Okay, it hurts, but it is interesting, right? If it were in a movie, I dare say we'd be captivated, right? So become interested in your life, become interested in what's happening, become curious about it. And that will reduce the resistance. And it actually will increase our creativity for problem solving as well.
That's a great perspective. So tell me more about utilizing the power of words. I always think about a lot of us say, I'm so stressed about this. Gosh, I feel so stressed, but does that really get me anywhere, even just saying it out loud without taking action?
Well, they say the most powerful word that you will ever utter comes right after the phrase "I am." So
Mm.
be mindful of that, right? So, but our words are very, very powerful. And again, use curiosity phrasing instead of judgmental phrasing. Not "this is the worst thing that could happen. I am so stressed." Instead, say, "My goodness gracious, this is interesting. I didn't want this to happen. It doesn't feel good," right? And start saying, I wonder how I can grow from this. I wonder what the outcome will be. I wonder how great I'm going to feel. How am I going to celebrate when I come out of this? Become curious and use those words to support that curiosity.
That's so helpful because we all confront things in life that are unexpected or challenging, and you can just kind of change your mindset and the way that you speak about things too. Do you see people using different kinds of coping strategies that may leave them feeling more anxious?
Yes, and that is problem focusing, right? We are so solution oriented as we should be, but we have this paradoxical activity, which is we become so focused on the problem instead of focus on the solution. And how do we switch that? Again, using curiosity, right? Just saying, I'm curious about this allows our brain to switch from I'm worried, I'm frozen in this hyper stress cortisol reaction, but becoming curious causes the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in and says, that's interesting. We slow down. We start thinking more creatively and looking at it from a different perspective, taking all of the judgment and fear out of it. It can still hurt, doesn't mean that we have to be fearful. It can still be something we've never experienced before, but we're taking it from a place of curiosity instead of focusing on this is the worst thing ever. This is the scariest thing ever.
You have some great ideas for us, easy strategies to turn that stress into more peaceful moments.
Yeah, that's what we're all looking for in this journey. We like excitement, don't get me wrong. We just want to know how to come at it.
Do you have some kind of concrete ways we can put that into practice?
Number one is diet. When we get
Mm.
stressed, we usually go for the high sugar. It makes us feel more anxious. I know it feels good going down, but pay attention to the anxiety that comes on the tail end of that. Some movement, exercise will help to counteract that. So if you do find yourself reaching for a sugary drink or a sugary snack, exercise, get those endorphins going. Then there is sleep. Do not underrate how restoring, excuse me, sleep is. Get that sleep so we can regenerate our body. And then lastly, the oxytocin effect, just rubbing our hand, giving someone a hug, holding a baby, helps to calm us down.
It's the simple stuff, but it works every time, and it's always worth reminding ourselves. Thank you so much, Dr. Dravon. It was great to see you.
You too.
Dr. Dravon's book again is Freedom is Your Birthright, and we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.